And joining us live from the WION Newsroom is Kanishka Sarkar, who will break down the big business updates shaping your money and the economy. Nikita Singh will get us all the updates from the world of tech. And we also have Vidur Katuria, who will take us through all the action from the world of sports. We begin first up with Kanishka for all the business updates.
Thank you, Samiksha. Lots of updates. Let's start with global markets. They are awaiting fresh inflation data. They are taking a cautious approach today. US stock futures, they are largely flat, and at the same time, Indian markets have seen some kind of recovery from early losses. Oil prices, they remain volatile as tensions around the Strait of Hormuz continue. Let's start with the details on markets. On Wall Street, futures were little changed in early trade. Dow futures were just below the flat line. S&P 500 futures were also broadly steady. Nasdaq 100 futures, they were up around 0.12%. Investors are now waiting for the July Producer Price Index or PPI, and this data is due later today. Now, speaking about the Asian markets, they were mostly higher. South Korea's Kospi jumped more than 4%, Japan's Nikkei gained 1.5%, whereas Hong Kong's Hang Seng, that rose less than 1%. China CSI 300, that gained just about 0.5%, whereas Australia's index, that was an exception, which fell about 0.3%. Meanwhile, in India, the Sensex and Nifty recovered from their early losses. The Sensex had earlier fallen about 300 points in early trade. It later, however, moved close to flat. The Nifty has also reclaimed the 24,400 mark, and markets found some support from softer US inflation and lower crude prices. Brent crude was trading around $89 a barrel. But geopolitical risks, they remain a concern. And now, speaking of oil prices, they are moving around the flat line as of now. Brent near $88 and WTI around $83. The International Energy Agency says that global oil demand is expected to weaken further this year. But supply remains under pressure. Oil supply was around 6.3 million barrels a day. That's lower on a year-on-year basis in July. The key risk remains the Strait of Hormuz. Now, ship traffic through the waterway is at a 3-month low. A 5-day average stood at around 13 vessels on Tuesday, and that is just about 90% below the pre-war daily average of 130 ships. The United States says that the exports are still moving through the strait, but uncertainty over a full reopening, that remains a concern. So for the markets, there are two competing forces. Slower demand could push oil prices lower, but continued disruption in Hormuz could send prices higher. And that uncertainty is keeping investors very cautious. And that's about the business updates. For tech updates, now let's go to Nikita.
Thanks so much, Kanishka. First up, US President Donald Trump has signed a memo allowing federal authorities to use cyber tools against foreign-based criminal organizations targeting Americans. The White House says the move will target crimes including ransomware attacks and financial frauds. Under the new framework, vetted private companies could work with the government to gather threat information and carry out cyber operations. Now, the operations could include surveillance or actions to disrupt, block, or damage the computer systems and networks controlled by targeted criminal groups. A German digital rights group, HateAid, has filed a criminal complaint against Meta and other companies selling its AI-powered smart glasses in Germany. HateAid says devices such as the Ray-Ban Meta Wayfarer could violate German privacy laws. The group argues that people could be filmed without their knowledge, raising concerns over covert surveillance. The complaint has been received by Germany's Digital Crime Prosecution Unit, which will first assess whether there are grounds for a deeper investigation. And lastly, Afghanistan has banned students from carrying smartphones on university campuses. The rule was introduced after Supreme Leader Akhundzada ordered government workers to stop using smartphones in June. Authorities say the ban meant to help students focus on lectures, studies, and practical work. But students say the rule has also cut them from online research, e-books, AI tools, and course materials. Some students say that they use their smartphones to photograph lectures, slides, and board notes for later revision. Others say the ban has improved concentration and even helped their grades. Well, that's it from the world of tech. Now my colleague Vidur would be taking you through some sports updates across the globe. Over to you, Vidur.
Well, thank you so much, Nikita. Lionel Messi could end his playing career soon. Messi made his first competitive appearance in football less than a week after his father's death. Messi came on to cheers in Inter Miami's 3-2 defeat by Lyon in the final group game of the League's Cup. But despite the appearance, there are huge doubts over Messi's future in the sport. The 39-year-old penned an emotional letter following his father Jorge's death. The Argentine World Cup winning captain said he was considering his future in football, adding he was really not sure if he'll be able to carry on doing it for much longer after his father's death. Moving on, PSG are Europe's first trophy winners of the new season after beating Aston Villa 2-1 in the UEFA Super Cup in Salzburg, Austria. Kvaratskhelia put PSG ahead in the 20th minute, cutting in from the wing and firing past the Villa keeper. 17-year-old Brian Maggio levelled for Villa just before the break, but Desiree Doué restored the lead in the 61st minute, finishing off an Ousmane Dembele assist. European champions PSG become only the fourth club after Ajax, AC Milan and Real Madrid to win back-to-back UEFA Super Cup titles. And finally, Xavi Hernandez is the new head coach of the Netherlands national team, replacing Ronald Koeman, who quit after the Dutch lost to Morocco in the round of 32 at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The 46-year-old Spaniard had signed a 4-year deal, taking Netherlands through to the 2028 Euros and the 2030 World Cup. Xavi spent more than 2 years out of the game since leaving Barcelona in 2024, where he won a La Liga title. He becomes the first non-Dutch coach to lead the Netherlands national team since 1978 and says his time at Barcelona's academy under Johan Cruyff and Louis van Gaal, both of whom were Dutch, makes him feel like a son of Dutch football. Well, that's it in the world of sport. For now, it's back to you, Samiksha.
All right, thank you for that, Vidur, and thanks to Nikita and Kanishka as well. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of our broadcast. You're watching WION World is One. Stay tuned.